In my last video, I showcased an impressive trading strategy inspired by DaviddTech that I developed using ChatGPT only, and the results blew me away. The strategy was profitable on multiple assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and generated more than 700% profit within 4 years. If you haven't seen that video yet, definitely check it out, link is in the description, because today we are diving deep into exactly how I created that strategy using ChatGPT with zero coding knowledge. Now, I get it, not everyone is into coding, so if you are just here for the strategy script and optimizations, you can buy the full open source code from our Patreon shop. Link is down in the description and in the comments. In this video, I will walk you through the entire process from coding this NNFX-based strategy for TradingView to overcoming the inevitable challenges and refining the code into a powerful, customizable PineScript strategy. As a bonus, I've made another optimization for this, specifically tuned for the BTC/USDT 30-minute chart. Spoiler alert, it is even more profitable than what you've seen in the last video. And as always, we will also take a look on how this new optimization performs compared to all the other strategies I showcased here on the TradeSmart AI channel. Whether you are a seasoned coder or a total newbie, I'm here to guide you through the entire process step by step. If you watch closely, by the end you will be equipped to recreate this strategy or develop your own using ChatGPT, even if you are starting from scratch. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. There are several ways to start coding with ChatGPT, but I will show you the method that worked best for this strategy and which works usually the best for me. The key: start small, begin with 1 or 2 indicators, and slowly build up, adding new rules step by step until you've got the full strategy coded. First of all, I watched DaviddTech's YouTube video where the strategy was explained in detail. I took notes on every indicator and the rule used, then set up a new layout on TradingView, marking valid entry and exit signals. This chart will be our playground for debugging and validating the script as we build it. Next, I headed over to ChatGPT and sent the first prompt. You are a professional PineScript strategy coder, let's start coding the next strategy. When using ChatGPT, always define its role clearly, it can make a difference. After that, I fed the first 2 rules of the strategy. Enter into a long position if the top-bottom indicator's blue line is above the red, with a stop loss set at the lower ATR band. This stop loss should remain fixed throughout the trade. Then I copied and pasted the PineScript codes of the 2 indicators needed for this version of the strategy. To find the source code of any open source indicator, just go to TradingView, add an indicator, hover around the indicator itself, and you will see this brackets icon. Then click on it, and it will open up the indicator's code. On the second try, ChatGPT generated a working script. I copied it, applied it to the TradingView layout I made earlier, and checked if it works as expected. To add the strategy script on your TradingView chart, if you don't know how, let me explain. Click on the Pine editor, then click on New, then Strategy Script, paste the code right here, and click on Add to Chart. If the script has no errors, it will be added to the chart immediately, but if it has errors, then the error will be displayed right here at the bottom. Okay, at this state we are mainly looking for it to enter long positions when the top-bottom indicator turns blue, and set the stop loss and take profit levels correctly. I checked it and everything looked good, so it was time to move on. Next, I wanted to add short positions and a trade direction limiter which lets me choose to enter only longs, only shorts, or both. I also asked ChatGPT to update the inputs tab accordingly. ChatGPT quickly generated the script. After applying the updated script on my TradingView layout, I changed the stop loss to 1x ATR and the take profit to 2x ATR. Opening the inputs tab, I could now select the trade direction. First I set it to longs only, and sure enough, it entered only long positions. Remember to always check that previous functions still work after each update, as ChatGPT can mess up correct existing logic. Thankfully, everything was still functioning correctly. I also checked the short positions and found a small issue. The stop loss and take profit levels were reversed. I realized the script didn't account for the fact that in short positions, the stop loss should be above the candle and the take profit below it. So basically it applied the stop loss and take profit levels used at long positions. I went back to ChatGPT, explained the issue in detail, and after a couple of attempts, it finally generated a script that worked perfectly. Next, I wanted to add the trend filter using the Holt exponential moving average. Since I'm building a rather complex script to test out ChatGPT's current capabilities, I asked ChatGPT to include a drop-down menu where I could choose between trend following and mean reverting filtering options. For those who don't know, mean reverting means long entries are only allowed below the moving average and shorts are only allowed above it. I also sent ChatGPT the code of the moving average and asked it to update the script. It sent back the updated script, I checked it and everything was working fine, so we could move on. Oh, and I also added a turn off function in case we decide not to use a trend filter. Then it was time to add the TDFI indicator. I specified the rules. Long entries are allowed only when the TDFI is green and shorts when it is red. And I also provided the PineScript code. It replied with the updated script, but after I copied and pasted it to TradingView, I got an error. When you encounter an error, just send it back to ChatGPT, and if that doesn't fix it, try switching models or provide more detailed context, like not just copy-pasting the error code, but its exact location in the code itself. In this case, I switched to ChatGPT 4 and explained the problem again, sending it both the strategy and the TDFI codes. And the legacy model GPT-4 immediately identified the issue. The TDFI was coded in PineScript version 3, but my strategy was in version 5, which led to compatibility issues. Now, here's what you can do if you run into a similar problem. You can ask it to code the full strategy right away. As we are using a different model, maybe it will correct the issue on its own. You can ask it to update the version 3 indicator script to version 5 and then integrate it to the strategy script. Since we are now working with a new model, you can also try sending it the full strategy script with the error. Maybe this model can handle it better. I tried all of these methods and spent some serious time with troubleshooting. I encountered many errors, but in the end I got the script correctly coded. A quick tip: if ChatGPT keeps sending the same script without fixing the issue, it's probably stuck in a loop. If that happens, try a different approach or a different model. This occurred to me multiple times while coding the script. I know it can get a bit frustrating, but that's just how it is. Maybe a year down the road and it will work perfectly. If you paid attention at the beginning, you should have noticed that the script only entered long positions if a cross-up occurred on the top-bottom indicator, and it only entered short positions if a cross-down occurred. However, in the original strategy, the top-bottom indicator is used as a confluence indicator, meaning that whenever it is bullish, the blue line is above the red, long entries are allowed and the opposite goes for shorts. So I asked ChatGPT to modify the script, and after a couple of tries, it was working correctly. By this point, the script was getting pretty lengthy, over 100 lines, which was a significant limitation a few months back. So I decided to do an overall check to find out if everything works as it should. Let's take a look. Here's a long entry. The price is above the trend filter, the top-bottom indicator is bullish, and the TDFI is green, so it is indeed a very long entry. The stop loss should be placed at a 1x ATR here, and the take profit at a 2x ATR right there. But if you take a closer look, the trade closed here, which is neither the stop loss level nor the take profit. At first I thought it was an error and went back to ChatGPT asking it to correct it. I spent a good amount of time getting it right, probably 15 to 20 tries. But the truth is, the script was working correctly and I mistakenly thought that there was a problem because I missed one crucial setting. And that is the pyramiding in the properties tab. Now pay attention, because this problem occurred to me multiple times when I coded strategies before. So basically by default, the pyramiding is set to 1, meaning the script can't enter a new trade if there's an open one. In other words, this is the one trade at a time method. Setting the pyramiding higher allows multiple trades in a row, which also updates the stop loss and take profit levels dynamically. This script and most of the scripts you will code with ChatGPT will update the stop loss and the take profit level according to the latest valid entry signal. For these scripts, it doesn't matter if the pyramiding is set to 1 or 100, as ChatGPT coded scripts usually updates their stop loss and take profit levels anyway. So basically, the script was correct and I made a mistake. Once I got the working script, ChatGPT solved the SLTP problem by completely disallowing the pyramiding option. So from now on, I was working with a script that could not enter multiple trades at a time. Finally, I had to add one last filter, and that is the ADX with an EMA. The rules are simple. Entries are only allowed if the ADX is above the ADX-based EMA, ensuring that there's enough market volatility. I described the rules to ChatGPT, sent it the ADX PineScript code, and it generated the script. I checked the new version, and it worked perfectly. However, I noticed a new problem. The trade direction limiter was not working. I asked it to correct it, and it did. But then I also noticed another problem. The stop loss source setting wasn't working, so again I went back to ChatGPT and asked it to fix it. And with that, finally we completed the main entry and exit logic of the script. What's left is the input step design and a few enhancements to make it as close as possible to DaviddTech strategy. To create a nice input step, I used this prompt. Then I asked for position sizing modification. I wanted to see if it could code a risk percentage-based position sizing, and I also suspected that DaviddTech used something very similar to this. To my surprise, it was able to do that, something I couldn't get working a few months back. However, after checking the script again, a new problem came up. Now the stop loss wasn't working properly. So what I did, and what I recommend you do in cases like this, is go back to the previous versions of the script and find one that had a perfectly working stop loss and take profit placement. Then copy that code, paste it to ChatGPT and tell it to use the exact same stop loss and take profit placements as in this older script version. By using this method, I finally got a perfectly functioning script. And that wraps up the coding part. From here on, I was just making minor changes to improve the script's appearance and added one or two extra functions that DaviddTech strategy had. I highly encourage you to experiment with ChatGPT, especially if you have a paid subscription. The capabilities of the latest models are incredible, and it's always great to be able to code and test simple strategy ideas that you stumble upon. However, if you are not interested in any of that or got stuck somewhere while coding the script, you can buy the final script with all the optimizations from our Patreon shop. By doing so, you also support the channel and the making of videos just like this. I will leave a link to it down in the description and in the comment section. And now, to close out the video, let me show you the final script and the optimization settings for the BTC/USDT 30-minute chart that generated over 1100% net profit in 4 years. And of course, we will also take a quick look at the strategy ranking spreadsheet to see where this one stands. Okay, let's quickly go over the optimization settings for the BTC/USDT 30-minute chart. Here is the full script we coded earlier, and the settings are as follows. For the top bottom indicator, the bottom period should be set to 15 and the top period to 20. For the TDFI, the look back should be 80, the filter high is 0.13. The filter low doesn't matter as this is a long only optimization, and the TDFI source should be an HL2. The trend filter should be set to trend following, the alpha length to 75, the gamma length to 40, and the AGMA source to close. On our volatility indicator, which is the ADX with an EMA, the ADX smoothing is 25, the DI length is 55, and the EMA length is 25. For stop loss and take profit placements, we will use a 90 ATR period, the source needs to be on close, the stop loss multiplier should be set at 3, and the take profit at 9. As I said, this optimization is long only, so make sure it is set to long only. The risk management should be ticked as we are going to use a percentage-based position sizing with this strategy, and its value should be at 2.5%. In the properties tab, the initial capital is $10,000. The order size is 100% of the equity, but it doesn't really matter because we are using the input step position sizing function. And the pyramiding also doesn't matter, so I will set it to 1 as this script can't handle pyramiding. Commission rate will be a 0.1% and the slippage is 2 ticks. Okay, and let's see the results. For the backtest, I will use the last 4 years of price data. Let's see. And here are the results. Throughout these 4 years, this optimization took 308 trades, which is a perfectly healthy amount, and it generated 1138% net profit, with a 38% win rate, but if you've been in algorithmic trading for some time, you know that doesn't mean anything. A 10% win rate strategy can be profitable than a 90% win rate strategy, it all depends on the risk to reward ratio. The profit factor is 1.57, which is good, and the max drawdown is under 30% at 25.55%. Now I usually say this, but I can't say it enough, backtesting results does not mean anything. You have to wait at least a few months and see how it performs on a live market data. I recently made a video for this channel as the 1K special, where I reviewed how each of the strategies I presented on TradeSmart AI performs after their optimization dates. And I can say that the strategies that finished with a high net profit were not the best ones. For those who are interested, here is the performance summary. And here is Bitcoin's buy and hold equity curve. While our strategy is just slightly more profitable, I always mention that while Bitcoin had an 80% drawdown in its bear phase, this script is steadily uptrending with only a 25% maximum drawdown. Let's quickly take a look on how it performs on higher and lower time frames. On the 15 minute, it is break even. On the 10 minute, it is losing, so I won't even go on lower time frames. What about the higher ones? The 1 hour, it is profitable, 400% net profit and 28% maximum drawdown, perfectly fine. On the 2 hour, less trades but still 350% net profit and only 22% maximum drawdown. What about the 4 hour? Now only 200% gain, 42 trades, but 3.7 profit factor and only 15% maximum drawdown. And finally the daily. Well, the daily is only 16 trades and it's just a random mess, so completely forget about that. As always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research before investing. There is always a risk and the possibility of overfitting or over-optimizing a strategy, which means that the strategy after its optimization date won't perform as well. That's why with my most complex strategies that I share with the Smart Trader tier members, I monitor every single optimization I made for them and eliminate those that starts losing money. Okay, now let's see where's this strategy placed among all the strategies I've tested so far. And here is the strategy ranking spreadsheet. Today's strategy is the NNFX top bottom strategy with all of these filters on the 30-minute chart is placed at the second place. Also, if you take a look on the 4th place winner, that was the previous video's optimization for the same strategy for the 2-hour chart. You can find this strategy ranking spreadsheet down in the description. Here I save all the backtest data. You can see the fee rates, the time intervals. Oh, I missed to put in the trade count. Don't worry about that, I will put it at later. The net profit, the profit factor, and so on. And at the end I will link the YouTube video and the script download link, which will be our Patreon shop now, as this is not a free script. And that's a wrap for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you tried coding a strategy with ChatGPT before. Also, if you attempt to code this strategy, let me know if you succeeded or not. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with somebody, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out this channel. If you want to see the other optimization for the 2-hour chart of Bitcoin, check out this video. Or if you are interested in something more complex, check out this video on our main TradeSmart channel, where I explore which is the best entry signal indicator on TradingView. As always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day, and until next time, trade smart.